So guys, on the previous season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Yandy Smith really went out of her way to present the image that everything in her marriage to Mendeecees was solid and unbreakable, even though viewers could clearly sense that something wasn't right beneath the surface. Throughout the season, she carried herself like someone who was under pressure to maintain a certain reputation, constantly emphasizing loyalty, family, and strength, while quietly dodging the deeper conversations that could expose cracks in her relationship. Instead of allowing herself to be vulnerable or transparent, she leaned heavily into controlling the narrative, making it seem like any negativity surrounding her marriage was simply outside noise rather than something rooted in reality. Things took a serious turn when Jessica White stepped forward with allegations that immediately shook the storyline, claiming that Mendeecees had allegedly been texting her niece.
My niece told me that she was at a club and a Mendeecees tried to holler at her.
So, this wasn't presented as casual gossip or hearsay. It came across as something that Jessica was confident about, and the way she approached Yandy suggested she wasn't trying to be messy, but rather direct. That confrontation alone should have opened the door for an honest conversation. But instead, it put Yandy in a position where she felt cornered, and from that moment on, her main focus seemed to be protecting her marriage's image rather than addressing the actual claim being made. Instead of reacting with shock or even questioning her husband, Yandy quickly jumped in to shut the situation down by offering her own explanation, claiming that it was actually her who had been texting Jessica's niece, not Mendeecees. She made it seem like she had taken it upon herself to handle the situation privately, suggesting that she was the one behind those messages for reasons that weren't fully clear.
Oh, I know this DM. I was DMing her. That was me. Wipe your tears, honey.
So, what made matters worse was how Yandy began framing the situation as an attack on her marriage instead of addressing the possibility that there could be real issues. She leaned into the idea that people were trying to destroy what she had built, almost painting herself and her relationship as victims of outside negativity. Rather than acknowledging that Jessica might have been bringing forward something serious, Yandy treated the situation like it was fueled by jealousy, messiness, or a desire to break her family apart. That approach didn't sit well with viewers, especially because it felt like she was avoiding accountability and redirecting the focus onto everyone else. Longtime fans of the franchise already knew that Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship had never been completely smooth even before this situation came to light. Their history has included legal troubles, time apart, co parenting challenges, and ongoing trust concerns, which have all played out in different ways on screen.
I know that Yandy was not the one that was DMing her. Yandy's husband was. She's clearly lying to my face, and I'm not calling her out about it because I don't.
So while she delivered this explanation with confidence, fans immediately started questioning the logic behind it, because the idea that Yandy herself was communicating in that way didn't fully add up, especially considering the nature of the accusations and how serious they were. As clips from the episode spread across social media platforms like Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, viewers wasted no time analyzing every detail of Yandy's response, and the general consensus online was that her story didn't feel believable. A lot of fans pointed out inconsistencies and questioned why she would insert herself into that kind of situation instead of holding Mendeecees accountable if the allegations were false. The more she insisted on her version of events, the more people felt like she was doing damage control. And it created an even bigger wave of suspicion that she might have been covering for her husband rather than telling the full truth.
I appreciate you. But one thing about him and I, we don't have problems when it comes to women.
Now, on the current season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, there has been a noticeable shift in how Yandy is handling her marriage, and it's something fans have been paying very close attention to. Instead of maintaining that everything is perfect, she has started to open up about the reality of her relationship and the struggles she's been facing behind closed doors. The same energy she once used to defend and protect her marriage is now being redirected toward expressing her frustration, pain, and disappointment, which has made her storyline feel much more raw and honest. This change in approach has led many viewers to feel like their suspicions from the previous season were actually valid, because the issues that Yandy is now acknowledging are very similar to the ones people believed she was hiding before. It's almost as if the truth that she tried so hard to suppress eventually found its way to the surface, forcing her to confront it publicly.
It feels like the puzzle pieces are not fitting together anymore.